Okay, everybody, we're live. We're live. Just let me bring Carol into the room. Hi, Carol. Nice to see you.
Connecting.
Okay.
There she is.
Connecting. All right. Welcome, everybody. Today's topic is attraction marketing. And every man and his dog knows what attraction marketing is. So I don't want any lectures about what attraction marketing is, unless you're not sure what it means, right? And for some people, that may be true. But what I would love you to do is to share a specific example of attraction marketing that you've used and what happened when you did that. I mean, you may refer to it, I noticed Stephen in the group. This is inbound marketing, which is, I agree with that totally, right? But before to get started, for people who are watching the replay, if not the live broadcast, for me, I just want to put this in perspective. Attraction marketing is where you are attracting people to you. Come on, Patrick Kern. Are attracting people to you for a variety of reasons. It may be the content you create. It could be the blog post you do, or the live broadcast you do, or social media things. It could even be the messaging you're using, or one that I've noticed extremely helpful. Hi, Pat, good to see you. Is the comments you're making on people's posts, because you never know who's watching, right? And if you leave very good quality comments on other people's posts, I can tell you it is a really good way of putting attraction marketing into place, okay? Because people will seek you out, and that's exactly what attraction marketing is all about. Anyway, 2 apologies before we start. Anna Robson and Gary Gleason, both of them apologise. They'll be here next Friday. Sorry they couldn't join us. And so we're going to start, and the first cab off the rank was Stephen, and then it will be Fred, Mitali, Tom, Donna, Carol, Yvonne, and storyteller, tugboat captain, Pat Kern. Okay? Stephen, over to you. Attraction marketing. Share a specific example and what happened when you did it.
Yeah, I've used attraction marketing, or permission marketing, as Seth Godin calls it, or inbound marketing, as I've come to call it, for several years now. I guess I've used it without thinking about it or without knowing what it was called for a couple of decades. But I really started using it about 20 years ago. And I mentioned last week a couple of books that I read, one at the turn of the century and one at the turn of the decade. And I use it as one of my three largest outreach or marketing programs. And those are inbound marketing, organic traffic, and referrals. That makes up the lion's share of what I do. And I'm not sure that inbound marketing is the largest. I haven't really measured the three against each other, but it's big. It's mostly what I think consciously of doing. Well, I guess organic traffic is a conscious thing too. I work for that. And referrals, I do nothing, but I guess I deliver, and that gives me referrals, so it's involved as well. But inbound marketing is what I do the most, what I'm conscious of, what I do, and I think and it's totally replaced advertising for me. I haven't run a paid ad in 15 years, so it works really well. And I think my mission statement sort of summarizes the process in just a few words. I call it my I can mission statement, and it says to give as much as I can, to as many as I can, as often as I can, for as long as I can. And out of that mission statement comes the sharing of information, of help, of details, of concepts, giving into the marketplace. And Peter, you actually nailed it. The biggest area that I do that is on social media. not as original posts of my own, but as commenting on other people's posts. You can't run out of stuff to share when you're sharing to what somebody else is posting. Their post triggers a thought. And so you're able to deliver on that. And especially if they're asking a question, you give an answer. If they're seeking help, you deliver the help. And almost always, I mean, I hate these guys that come on social media and say, DM me and I'll help you because that's what I do for a living. There's place for that, but mostly when somebody asks for help, specific help, if you can give it in the reply, you give it publicly, and if not, you arrange to meet with them privately. And if it's a small thing, you do it without charge and without any expectation, and then the law of attraction kicks in. So it goes from attraction marketing into the law of attraction, which is a powerful force in the universe. You don't have to believe in it. It's okay. You don't have to believe in gravity either, but don't go stepping off any tall buildings. And the law of attraction, when used properly, returns many, many fold. And so I have found that attraction marketing, or inbound marketing as I call it, is a very relatively easy thing to do. And it returns beautifully. It's hard to believe, but the people that come to me are already qualified. In my organic traffic, I probably get about a 3% closing rate after you take away the people that are just kicking tires, and you take away the people that aren't a good fit and so on. And then you still have to close them. You have to sell them on the idea or whatever it is. And then assuming they're a good fit for that, you only get a small number. But with inbound marketing, the people come to me pre-qualified. They come to me knowing who I am. They come to me expecting to work with me. And so the numbers are like through the roof. I don't have absolute accounts, and I'll take criticism from someone. But what I know from just observing the number of people that come to me and end up doing business with me is about 90%. Referrals is lower than that. It's about 75% because, 3 out of 4, even though they were referred to me, they still don't necessarily really know me. And so there's a fairly, significant number that are, bled out of the process because they're not a good fit, or because they came looking for something that I don't really deliver. But the inbound marketing, the attraction marketing people, they have already seen me enough. There's different numbers out there. They say you need 6 or 8 or 12 or 14 contacts with a person before you close the sale. Well, they've already made, most of those. The one to me is their last one, whatever that number is. It's the last one, and they're coming to me with all the other contacts in place. So I highly recommend attraction marketing, and it works really well for me.
Okay,
thank you,
Stephen. Peter. But you didn't really give me a specific example. That's what I wanted from you. Okay, well, the specific example. Just one. Well, I've got a client that I just got some money from last night, and they actually have been with me now for about 2 years, and they saw me in a blog post on a website. It was a guest post, and they saw it, and they were looking for exactly what I talked about in the blog post. So they came to me and they said, "Do you offer this as a service?" And of course I do. I said yes. And they said, "Where do I sign up?" Just like that. Good. Thank you very much. Yeah, this is the book that I recommended the other day, Inbound Marketing. It's on Amazon. This is a Kindle version, and that's this is the original one that was published in 2010. But there's an updated one that's just out last year. Who's the publisher, David? Better. I don't know the publisher, but it's Brian Halligan, the founder of HubSpot. Yep. So you can find it that way. Okay. Yeah. And it's on Amazon. Thank you very much, Stephen. Yeah. Okay. And by the way, I don't want to sum up what Stephen is saying, but let me add this very simple thing. That attraction marketing doesn't require you to be a great content creator. It doesn't. That's a fallacy, right? Sure, great content creation will give a lot of attraction marketing opportunities to you. But the very fact that you are commenting properly, as Stephen alluded to, can do wonders for you as well. And really, what you're doing is you're positioning yourself by educating, by entertaining, by engaging with people. And what you're really doing is you're pre-selling your authority without doing any selling at all, okay? And that to me is the beauty of attraction marketing. That's my sermon for the mount for the day, excuse that. So, all right, thank you, Stephen. Fred.
Yeah, hi guys. A bit late here, but anyway, we'll give it a go. I suppose the one thing about, like, I spruik my own wares as the attraction marketing tutor. So I teach people how to attract clients using attraction marketing. And I've got a Facebook group with that name. So if I don't know about attraction marketing, then I really probably shouldn't be here. But
what's the name of the group, Fred?
Attraction Marketing Tutor.
Thank you. Okay.
But what it's about, like what I and I'll give you an example of a client. When I talk about attraction marketing, it's really about pretty much what Stephen and was saying earlier about getting people to come to you rather than going out and paying for ads and doing stuff like that. So an example I'll give, because that's what we were asked to do, was that an example is a client I've had for about 4 years, and they run a pizza shop. And for that organization, what we did for the attraction marketing exercise was we did what most people should be doing in that industry, is we put in QR codes. So we invited people for that business, for the pizza shop, to join their VIP club and in some cases it was, well, for this particular one is a VIP club, but they also get the opportunity to join their birthday club or their anniversary club. So the whole idea about the attraction marketing was it started off with a QR code. They scan that, it takes them in, and suddenly they're into that funnel. And then the client then offers them special deals to get them back in to the premises, because they're dealing with already clients that love them. So they just got to get them back in the door to spend more money. So that's how the attraction marketing side of it works on there. So it's really getting, and that's my focus, by the way, that's what I do for business. I help them get their existing clients back in the door. So, and that's really the attraction marketing exercise I just wanted to share with you tonight.
Okay. Which means, Fred, when you're getting existing clients back in the door, two things: you're not cold calling, right?
Correct.
And secondly, that approach would be a lot less stress levels and a lot less rejection than the normal outbound marketing, correct?
100%. Yeah, and that's the whole idea, and they already know what your product is like. They already love it. You just got to get them to spend more money with you. Right.
Good. So for people who are watching this on replay or on YouTube or wherever you're watching it, okay, listen to what these people are saying to you. And if people, like Fred said some comments so far and Stephen made something, if any of these people trigger something with you and you wish to follow up with them, I can assure you they are all approachable. Okay, they are all approachable. Please reach out to them. If you're on YouTube, look into the description box underneath, because I'll make sure their links are in there so you can contact them directly. Thanks very much, Fred. Well done, mate.
Pleasure. No problem.
Mitali.
Hi. Okay, so for me, attraction, actually, you know what you said, that we all know what attraction marketing is. And I was like, do we really? Because different people have different versions of it. So I actually Googled it, because I was like, let me just see what attraction marketing comes up with. And I came up with this. Attraction marketing is a strategy where customers are attracted to you and try to buy something without being told to do so. And that's the bit that I like, without being told to do so. And that's kind of how I do, if you can call it selling, that's how I do all my selling, because people fundamentally don't like being told what to do. So the way it works for me is that I do a lot of Facebook Lives. I've now started doing a lot of networking and doing speeches at networking groups and events. but it's never a pitch. I'm never selling. I'm basically just giving them advice on how to publish a book. And when you're teaching people, you'll be amazed how many people actually want to buy. I always say that, you know, you can be somebody who sells or you can be an expert. But an expert will outsell a salesman every single day of the week. And yet he's not selling anything. He's an expert. So I think for me, that's what works for me, is being seen as an expert in book coaching and publishing and mentoring. And then the people who are attracted to it, they will come to me and start seeking my services anyway, rather than me saying, hey, this is what I do and this is how much it costs, and, you know, being salesy.
And it must feel good, Mitali, when you open your social media, for example, and you've got messages, people seeking you out. I mean, that gives you a great start to the day, right?
Oh, it's brilliant. And it's what's really amazing is, you know, I think I've said this before in a number of your meetings, Peter. It's not, don't gauge how many likes or comments you get. I mean, it happened again yesterday where someone got in touch with me and wants to start working with me in April. He's like, I've been following your lives since September. And I'm like, well, it wouldn't have killed you to hit a like at some point. I didn't even know the guy existed. Never mind a comment. I understand a comment takes a little bit of effort, but just hitting the like as you pass through your feed, surely that doesn't take much energy. He'd never done that. And yet he'd been following me since September. I didn't know the guy existed until yesterday. He said, look, tell me more about the program. And now he's going to work with me in April. So attraction marketing works if you're just putting out quality content. And by quality content, I mean education, genuine education, not education that you're wrapping up around selling, but just giving people the help that they need. People come back for more, and then they see you as an expert.
Excellent. Thank you, Mitali. Educate, entertain, empower, and engage. They're the 4 E's for me. Okay. Any questions for Mitali? Okay. Next one, Tom.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Yeah, I agree with everything that everybody has said so far. And Mitali and I are sort of on opposite ends of the spectrum. Mitali likes doing the Facebook Lives. I haven't quite got the courage yet to do a Facebook Live yet. But we were talking before we went live that I personally love public speaking. You know, get me in front of an audience any day. And I to the point, I love educating people and teaching people something that they think is going to be hard or difficult or hard to understand, and break it down into steps that it's like, oh, okay, I get it now. Wow, that's so cool. And so I love doing that. And Peter and I were talking about this the other night, that it's, you know, getting people to know, like, and trust you. But even more than that is you're building authority. And getting people to see you as the leader, see you as the guy or gal that, you know, really knows their stuff, and they're the person that you want to talk to. So, you know, just real simply, it's like public speaking is a great way. Holding classes, you know, hey, learn how to do X or whatever it is. And I've partnered with chambers of commerce. I love, you know, the chambers of commerce. They love having people come in and give classes, and they'll promote it to their list. And, you know, you get butts and seats, and bring some muffins or whatever it is to, you know, cookies or whatever you want. But SCORE is another organization here in the United States that I've partnered with for over a decade and taught classes on their behalf. And it's gotten me connected with a lot of people by just holding these classes. So just as Peter's single example, last year I'd hired a photographer I wanted to do a photo shoot, because my last time I'd had photos done of me for my marketing materials was a decade before. And where I live in California, we've got 60 wineries pretty much in my backyard. And so we were running around to different wineries and using that as the backdrop of the photos. And so one of the wineries we got to, we found the owner of the winery indoors, and Ron, the photographer, was, you know, hey, you know, Steve, meet Tom, Tom, meet Steve, you know, do you mind if we do a photo shoot here? And Steve's like, oh yeah, I know Tom. I've been to many of his classes before. Yeah, I know him. So it was just you know, that he knew immediately who I was, and that I've already had that reputation with him. So that, you know, whether he'll turn into a client or anything later down the road is irrelevant. But it was just like, oh yeah, I know him. So it was just kind of cool. So that's my bit.
And Tom, your skill as a public speaker is something that scares the pants off a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
But would you also agree with me when I suggest that if you can develop the skill as a public speaker, it's far easier to influence a room full of people than one person?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And one of the a couple of techniques that I like is, the really bad technique is talking to the slides behind you. You know, you've got your slideshow up and, you know, you stand there and read the bullets. It's like, oh my God, that is the most boring thing on the planet. And instead I stand out in front and I try to look every single person in the eye as I'm talking. You know, the slides is just a reminder for me of what I'm going to talk about, but engage with this person, engage with that person, engage with the person in the back of the room, and really try to, you know, get them connected with me. And I also like to take questions as I talk, because I'd rather have a conversation rather than me just sitting there flapping my lips. It's, you know, ask me questions as we go. I want people to get it. I want people to engage. So to Peter's point, it helps influence that whole room.
Thank you, Tom. Any questions for Tom?
Yeah, a little bit off topic. Whereabouts in California are you, Tom?
I'm 30 miles east of San Francisco, in a town called Livermore.
Yeah, we went, when you mentioned wine, we've been to Napa. So
oh yeah. Everybody talks about Napa, but we've got we actually started Napa. the three wineries, the three estate wineries here in Livermore actually started Napa because they took roots up to that region. So we were here first.
Yeah, the reason I went to Napa was I worked for a company here called Beringer Blass, who were actually promoting a lot of the wines out of Napa at the time. So we had to go and visit while I was there.
You had to, darn it.
Thank you very much, Tom. Thank you. Donna-lea Bowman, seeing this is your first visit with us, and welcome, really a big welcome.
Thank you.
Before you share anything about attraction marketing, why don't you share a little bit about you, what you do, so we know what you're all about.
Absolutely. So I'm a business strategist. I help businesses build on what they have already. I also do a lot of client relationship management. This is about quality, right? You know, you want to ensure that what is happening in your business is, let me give you an example. A lot of people come to me because they're stuck. You know, they've either been successful or they're trying to be successful, and things just aren't quite working the way they should. So I like to do a deep dive with my customers in order to understand what's really going on. Sometimes what they think needs to happen isn't quite what needs to happen in order to move forward. That, you know, sometimes we think that one problem is, if that's resolved, is going to be the solution. But usually there's a deeper reason. You know, it could be like the ripple effect down. So we're talking about strategic initiatives, talking about client relationship management, because if your clients are not happy, or if you don't figure out why, you know, if you don't understand why they're not coming or why they're not staying, I help with that. And also partnership development. So I like to find what clients need, you know, with other businesses in order to marry that so that they can have a more productive, productive business. That partnership relationship and being able to take people and connect, you know, someone that needs something with something else. The other part of what I do very quickly is I do a lot of coaching and mentoring, because sometimes business owners just need that, you know, someone that's apart from the business. I think it's hard for us to see the forest for the trees with our business. And sometimes just sitting back and talking to someone that, you know, I know nothing about radiopharmaceuticals, and I actually have helped a business who he's in Canada, but he was trying to build a radiopharmaceutical transportation company in the Middle East. Now, when I sat down with him, I said, I know absolutely nothing about radiopharma. However, business is business. And as we were talking, those business principles still applied. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it's very interesting. And so I don't want to keep it too long, but back to the law of attraction. I do a lot of work as an advisor with eHub, which is an entrepreneurial hub at University of Ottawa. I'm involved with some startups and some accelerator programs. And I was on LinkedIn one day, and there was an article about just this. This was in the midst of, COVID, where nobody knew what was going on. And I'm partners with 2 startups, and we had been talking about blue ocean strategy in one of the startups for virtual care. And this article was about someone really not knowing where to go next. They were just absolutely stuck. So I posted there, but then I posted an article about blue ocean strategy. And basically this was not only for businesses, but it was also for individuals. In a saturated market with the product that you're offering, how do you find business there? So the idea with the blue ocean strategy is you do something completely different. So for example, in the furniture market, right? Everybody and their brother has furniture stores, but when you look at IKEA, they're doing something completely different. It's still furniture, but it's a different concept, right? So that's the sort of thing. Or like Virgin, what's the gentleman's name, with Virgin Mobile and Virgin Air, right? It was the same thing there. They did something completely different. So it is the same space, so to speak, but it's something different. So from that article, I had people call me, and I ended up doing some training on blue ocean strategy and about branding. It also morphed into another one, which was about personal branding. How do I make myself different? So that was sort of a very steady flow from one thing to the other. And with, I've been asked to be an advisor for a brain injury not-for-profit. And that came out of some discussions with him about building the brand. So it's very interesting, when you give, you receive. And if you can really help, I come from a place of service. So I really like to help people. There we go.
Donna-lea. Any questions for Donna? And welcome again. Any questions?
Thank you.
Any questions?
Just a comment, really. How many people here, several of us are Canadian, remember Ward Air? That's exactly what Donna was saying about. That was an awesome airline. I always flew it whenever they had connections where I was going, and I miss it dearly. Nobody's ever replaced it, but they did something different, and they made a wonderful big company out of it, which lasted for many, many years and made the family rich. So it shows if you go that extra mile and also do it differently, it works. It's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Stephen. And Donna, thank you very much for sharing that. You made 2 interesting points. One, the quality of the connection within CRM, okay? Customer connections, because that is key, truly key to building your business. There's no doubt about that. And you nailed it. And the other one is to differentiate yourself in this crowded marketplace. And both of those line up with attraction marketing perfectly. So I want to say thank you for sharing. Well done. I really appreciated it.
Thank you.
Now, welcome, Lisa, by the way. You stuck in while we're in the middle there. Nice to see you. Another Canadian, by the way. We're getting surrounded. Carol, and another Canadian. Carol Davies, you're next. You're on mute. Unmute.
Carol, you're on mute.
Well, one of the key concepts for attraction marketing is that people hear you. So thank you for letting me know that I was on mute. So now I will shine forth in my usual whatever. I really was intrigued by this topic today about what is attraction marketing, because I just got acquainted with the topic a couple of years ago. Many of the people that I've heard talking today, they say I've been using this strategy and this strategy for years. And I thought to myself, what do I have to say, since I've only started pursuing it a little more recently? But then I realized that over the time that I've been in business, I've been doing it unconsciously in a way. And part of my way is communicating who I am. And I've done that through writing and speaking a little bit, but I started out in 2013 with starting to contribute to writing chapters in published books because I didn't have quite enough experience, I thought at that time, to put out a book on my own. So I've been in a series of, anthologies or whatever, books around a certain theme. And I've gotten quite a bit of interest out of that. In fact, a couple of years ago, I had contributed to an anthology. It was in 2013. And this lady contacted me by Facebook and she said, I read your book, your chapter in the book just recently. And I mean, this was like 5 years later. She said, I want to work with you. I thought, oh my goodness. So when one thinks about writing something or publishing something, it's not quite the same as speaking directly in front of people. But I thought that is really something. And that inspired me in that year to become associated with a radio station in New York. And I did a year-long series of half-hour interviews on the radio show. And in it, I was able to, at the beginning of each episode, give a little synopsis of what I did, what I felt I could offer. And then I would have a specific topic, and then I would speak about that. And I found that was very, very helpful. I got a lot of interest, and the radio station even let people call in live during that. And that was recorded. And then I had all of those interviews saved and recorded, and I put them on my old website. I've since redeveloped the website and not had them up, but that I found for the year that I was doing it really brought me a lot of interest. And in a way, it was somewhat pre-qualified because they knew who I was and what I was about, and whatever the topic of that show was, it obviously hit a chord with them. And I enjoyed doing that so much. I discovered that I like being on and talking to people, through it. And then I did a year later a series of, for a year, a thing on doing podcasts. And I enjoyed doing that very much. So for me, I guess it's communicating by helping and sharing my experience in teaching, very much like several of you have said today. And I just have so much fun doing it. I never thought of it as attraction marketing. I'm just doing it.
Carol, you mentioned a gem. You had fun doing it. And that's the key. If you can have fun in doing what you're doing, then the way that it comes across to people will be contagious. Okay? I truly am thankful you made that comment, because it's very, very important. Sometimes we're too bloody serious. That's my point. Okay, we need to loosen up a bit. We need to let people see us for what we are, and we're not perfect. And who cares? No one wants to be perfect, right? So thank you, Carol. I appreciate that very much. Yvonne, nice to see you.
Thank you, Peter. Good to be here. And just to add to what you just said about Carol mentioning about fun, because for me, is that if you're not having fun in your business, what's the point? So that is so essential, to have fun in your business. And just about everyone has mentioned one or more of the strategies that I have used in attraction marketing without calling it that. And it's doing free workshops, like Tom mentioned, free live workshops, having groups in a bank where I'd go in and do presentations so people got to know, like, and trust me, because that's the intention, that's the goal of your educating, you're informing, you're showing up in your authentic self so that people get to know, like, and trust you, and they want to do business with you eventually. And one example that came to mind was, and also I wanted to mention about LinkedIn that you talked about earlier, Peter, and the fact that look for opportunities. I think Stephen mentioned it as well. Look for opportunities, and Donna did as well, to comment on leave good comments on people's posts, because they appreciate that. I've had people reach out to me on LinkedIn because of a simple comment I made on their post. One example, though, of attraction marketing was a few years ago. Just from my post on Facebook, there was a woman, I would notice that she would, always like my posts, and occasionally, very occasionally, she would make a comment. And one day I reached out to her through Messenger and just simply said, thank you for always, making comments and appreciating my posts. Let's have a conversation. This was just a get to know you conversation. And I thought we had a nice conversation. And in the process, at the end, she said, how can I work with you? And I said to her that, you know what, that was not the purpose of this conversation. I'd love to share more. So let us set up an appointment. I want to find out what you need so that we can decide if we're a good fit to work together as a coach and a coachee. And we did that. She became my client, and she was my client for about 4 years until she had some really serious health challenges. And she decided that, you know what, this online thing, she's backing away from the online marketing thing, and she now does something totally different. So it does work. It builds relationships when you educate people, when you share yourself. You're not pretending to be somebody else. Just be yourself, have fun, and let people get to know you.
Thank you, Yvonne. Any questions for Yvonne, the queen of customer experiences? I'm going to charge you for that one of these days, Yvonne.
Yes, I will deserve it too.
Love that,
Okay.
Peter. It's really, you need to write a book, The Queen of Customer Experience.
Yeah.
Serious.
Great idea, Fred. Great idea. Mitali, you're slow off the mark.
Come on, Natalia, get her in. What's wrong with you? Come on.
I'm not slow off the mark. I've got you wonderful guys doing it for me. So.
Oh, smart. Very smart lady. Okay. Noleen, are you there? I can see a blank screen, but I'm not sure whether you're with us or not, because it's your turn. Are you there?
Oh, look, I'm here, but it's after midnight, so it's really dark where I am. And I feel completely overwhelmed after listening to you guys. You're all, experts, and I'm still very much new and learning all this attraction marketing, so I'm sort of really, really out of my depth here. So,
Noleen, no one's going to be embarrassed here at all. Nobody, okay? And we are all learning. We are all learning. I'm not asking.
Everyone's got to start somewhere, don't they?
Where are you, Noleen? It's midnight,
please.
after midnight here too.
I'm in Australia.
Yeah, me too. I'm in Melbourne.
Oh, yeah, I'm in Melbourne as well.
There you go. So
you and Fred should reach out and say hello to each other.
No, it's not all that hard. We just get together and make it work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Noleen, look, let's leave attraction marketing if you feel a little uncomfortable. I don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable. But how about
it's not uncomfortable. I just feel that I don't have anything to contribute that you guys haven't already covered. I haven't got, the massive success stories or anything like that yet.
Do you have a little? Do you have a little success story?
I am.
Just a little one.
Not really. I'm a network marketer, so it's a little bit different. I'm just pouring myself into the personal development and certainly learning or trying to learn to listen to the client rather than do the talking, because I have a bit of verbal diarrhea going on sometimes, so I've got to learn to shut up. I've got to, go live, because I'm really, really bad at going live and I get really, really nervous. So I've got to overcome my fears first, I think, and put myself out there a little bit more. All right. Saying that, there have been occasions that I've gone into a group and have managed to strike conversations off a comment, with people, and then join. People have then joined my business, halfway around the world. So that's been quite good. Yeah. And then I think I lost my confidence a little bit, and I've got to actually go back out and do that a little bit more. But this year is certainly going to be, I've got big plans for this year, and so I've just got to apply what I'm learning.
Okay. Can I share 2 bits of things with you?
Absolutely.
First of all, be careful you don't get overloaded. There's a lot to learn, and it's very easy to get swamped. Just go one step at a time.
Yep.
But more importantly, feel comfortable in this group. Okay? We are all here to help each other. Nobody is going to feel good, bad, or indifferent about anybody else. I just love the fact that people are sharing from their heart. So if you feel in future you'd like to contribute, Noleen, I'm all ears. Because I learn from everybody, whether you've been in the business for 5 minutes or 50 years, I don't care.
Yeah. I think my problem is confidence, because there's people that we've got in groups that are in my business and other businesses that see me as a leader where I don't see myself that way. So
we can work on that.
Yeah, that's right.
Stephen, you had a question?
Just quickly, Noleen, Peter's the go-to guy for confidence, and it sounds like he could help you there. But network marketing, you've probably heard about the curiosity approach.
Yes.
And the attraction marketing, in essence, is the best of the curiosity approach. You simply share with people what you know, what you do, what you think, and people are curious and want to follow up with you, and so they're attracted to you. So instead of a formulaic curiosity approach that your upline is probably teaching you, when you learn about the attraction marketing, you bring that into play in what you're doing, and you will find that as your confidence grows, your outreach will grow and your attraction will grow.
I think my confidence is with content and not knowing what to say, and then I see a lot of good. I'm following a lot of you, Fred. I think we were friends on Facebook. Like I do follow a lot of people, and there's awful lot of content, and there's like, I wish I could say that, and I get confused with how to do it, because anyway, I will get there.
Keep it simple.
I know I will.
Keep it simple. We're proud of you. Thank you very much for joining us. I know it's late. Appreciate that. One last thing I'd like to share with you, because your upline may not be saying this to you, and that is, don't promote the company, promote you.
Yes,
People
I've heard
buy
that.
you, not your product, right?
Yeah, I'd second that, Peter. And Noleen, if we are friends, I think we probably are friends on Facebook, but reach out. We're Melbourne Knights. We can catch up over coffee anytime.
What part of Melbourne are you from, Fred?
Sorry?
What part of Melbourne are you from?
Frankston.
Oh, that's half an hour for me. I'm in Knox.
That's all right. I can jump on Eastlink anytime.
Well, that's what I mean. That's not nothing at all.
So there you go, Noleen. It was worth it for that. Thank you, Fred.
Thank
Good.
you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Noleen, and welcome. Lisa.
Donna-lea had a question.
Oh, sorry, Donna. Beg your pardon, I missed that.
No, that's fine. Noleen, one of the things that I really want to say to you is that, many of us fake it till we make it. And I think that there's a lot of value, as I'd mentioned before. People don't really understand what they know. And trying to put yourself into the box of how someone else does it just doesn't work. For me, I ask questions of people. And from there, then you understand. And from the knowledge that you have, that way you can help them. But it's not about, as someone had said, I think it was Fred, maybe, I'm not sure. It's not about having a canned response. It's not about going, all right, I know this and here's what I'm going to share with you. Literally, and that's how I started, was asking questions. A long time ago, I was with Bell Canada Yellow Pages, and they decided they wanted to put me into sales. I decided I was going to do what I was afraid of, because I had no clue. I was an extreme introvert at the time. And so I would sit down with a client, know nothing about the business, only what was in the phone book. So I'm dating myself, and I would ask questions. And that's how it started. And what ended up happening was I became successful because I was asking, as opposed to telling or deciding in advance what it was that they needed. You know, I had some ideas in my head because I prepared beforehand, but this really was about coming from a place of questions. And just start asking them questions. And when you start a conversation, ask them about them. You know, so you're kind of opening that up because you want to find out more about them. And as you ask questions, you're going to get the information you need. And I absolutely have no fear of saying, like with the radio pharma person, I don't know anything about radio pharma. Can you tell me? You know? And so don't come from it as a place of fear. Come from it as they said. My husband is the same. He says, you know, be curious. Even if you're scared, you're worried, you might not make it.
Interested, not interesting.
Yes,
Correct.
very much so. And that I think will help, because then the progression, the conversation progresses a lot more naturally when you're not, you know, trying to think what comes next, when you follow their lead.
Yep. Questions are the answers, isn't that what they say?
That was it. That was just my suggestion.
Okay.
Yep.
That helpful,
Absolutely.
Noleen?
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you. And thank you very much, Donna-lea, for sharing. That's good. Lisa Anna Palmer, over to you.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Sorry, I snuck in a little late there. It's early in the morning for me and sometimes a little tough. So attraction marketing is my favorite type of marketing, as Peter knows. And for me, it's all about relationships and building community, and then trying to understand what are their struggles, what inspires them, and getting creative and having fun. So a lot of great stuff that I heard during the period I was here. And I really love the people in my community, you know, and love to get to know them. So putting myself out there, I think showing up, right? So now mostly it's online, but certainly, you know, once we're all able to get back into some, you know, semblance of networking in person, that becomes fun as well. So getting out there, creating a lot of content that helps people or invites them to think differently. So I have a discussion group. I started a podcast, and that one was interesting because it helped me to let go of perfectionism, which is a struggle, because I started it just as a casual online get together to talk about leadership. So that's a space I'm in. I love leadership, and I try to attract people who are trying to figure out how to step up as leaders, and asking a lot of questions. Sometimes they're controversial about leadership within the group, and seeing and listening, a lot of listening. What is it that, you know, how do they perceive things? Helping them see them a bit differently. And also my own gaining clarity, more and more clarity around their struggles and what inspires them. And I find it becomes like a circle of inspiration where I'm inspired by them and understanding and trying to see what their struggles are, and even listening to what some of the solutions they've come up with. And then I put out content and create content based on that inspiration, get creative, and then they pick it back up. So it creates this wonderful circle. And the other thing is helping them to connect as well. So creating a platform where people can have meaningful conversations about leadership, about things they don't teach you about in school, about things that, you know, it's difficult to ask them in the actual workplace. And then just, you know, listening to the muse, being open to that creativity, whatever comes, because you don't know what the content is going to be like, and how your what you think about in the morning when you wake up is going to affect people's lives. And continually trying to understand, like, how am I helping? How am I showing up? And one of the things that actually has come up more recently, so I've been in business for about 10 years, but just within the last year, and how, you know, I created Light Your Leadership Inc. Since then, my clarity has really increased. And what I've noticed is when I coach is I help people to love their life as a leader. So they come to me with all kinds of problems, all kinds of issues. They're tearing their hair out. They can't stand their jobs. They don't want to, you know, show up at work on Monday because of all the different issues and pressures and all that stuff. And then once we work together, they start to love their life as leader because we help them get set up for that success and connect with their employees as human beings so that they can address their pain, basically their own pain and that of their employees. So yeah, I love attraction marketing because it's about me showing up and helping people by being myself, and then inviting them to be themselves. And so together we can really get through some interesting.
I've lost your voice sound.
Can't hear me?
No. You've gone
Can't
mute.
hear?
Yeah, no audio.
No audio.
No.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Now I can hear you. Talk.
Yes. Okay. Must be my mic.
Yeah. So could you just share that last little bit again?
Where did I cut off?
You're talking about the importance.
Just right at the beginning.
People fall in love with their job, with their leadership role.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes. So that's been a piece of clarity because we're always trying to understand what is people say, okay, you got to find the pain point and try to help them with that. Well, sometimes it's not clear, right? Because there's lots of different pain points and which pain point's worse than the other, and so it's really trying to understand the struggle. So for me, the clarity has come in understanding that the people that I help, the struggle they're dealing with is that, they've taken on a promotion. They're growing as leaders, and it's not what they anticipated or expected, and it's a lot more difficult to try to motivate others than to try to motivate themselves. So that's what I help them with, and help them love their life as a leader.
Yeah. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate you have to go, Mitali. I understand. Important thing with leadership, Lisa, automatically that's associated with respect and authority. Okay. So you're positioning yourself in that way because people these days need that. There are more and more people who are needing people to lead them. It doesn't mean you overpower them. It simply means you position yourself as someone who at least shares that you know what in the heck you're talking about without trying to be over impressive. You're just being realistic. And if you can do that, you can be a powerful leader without even realizing you're a powerful leader. That's the point I'm trying to say. And I know that, Lisa's a leadership coach. I'm talking to the converted here, right? But many people think I can't be a leader. Well, I'm saying you can. That's the point I'm saying. Yes, you can. Okay, you don't have to be a brilliant content creator. Just help people get clarity. And if you do that, it's an incredible service. An incredible service. Thank you very much, Lisa.
You're welcome.
Patrick, I can see in the background of you a very well-known aircraft carrier. I've been watching your lives. For those who don't know, make sure you get over to Patrick because he's sharing some incredible experiences about his life on board the Enterprise. Okay, 6,000 men, including Pat. Over to you, Pat, to wind us up for the day. Share some thoughts with us.
Thank you, Peter. Hey, I've learned a lot from all of you here about this, what you call it? Oh yeah, attraction marketing. What is it? I don't know. I honestly don't know what it was. I still really don't care. That's who I am. I love doing Facebook Lives. I just like telling stories about my Navy days on the United States Enterprise, the biggest aircraft carrier at that time, the first nuclear aircraft carrier at that time. And I have the stories I'm telling of it. I got more people making comments and want to know what else do I do. I just say, hey, if you want to stay tuned, if you watch the whole entire replay, or I might send you a special something to be in the comment. And I usually send them to my website. That way they can find out more about what I do, what I enjoy doing. And the other matter of fact, yesterday I had two people approach me at Bellingham Fitness and say, "Hey, you still doing that product?" I went, "Yeah." I said, "How can I get some?" I went, "Well, shoot me your message to me and I'll send you a link." They went, "Okay, cool." So, yesterday I got two people just chucked it out, and they enjoy, they're gonna probably purchase. I don't know. It's up to them. Then I had this one lady in Australia. She got a hold of me about some stuff. And so it was pretty cool. So doing video lives, I do now and then. I do them on Instagram. You only got a short minute, so you got to talk really fast. And I just, that's how I get myself out, I believe, with attraction marketing, of put just storytelling. You just got to be natural. You just got to, what you see is what you're going to get out of me. I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up your tailpipe. That, I just don't do that, and never have, and never will. I could, because I'm really good at it, because I've done it before on tugboats. Yeah. There was this way, this is a good one. We're going across the Gulf of Alaska, and we're going past this island called Middleton Island. The sun was rising, just a beautiful morning, and there was the glow over the island. And Betty, the cook, walked up. She said, "What's that glow over there?" "Oh, Betty, you don't know?" She said, "That's a nuclear testing spot where they test nuclear weapons and bombs. That glow over it is a force field." She won't hurt her. I had a hook, line, and sinker, and the deckhand who was sitting, he just shook his head. He had to leave because he was laughing so hard. So all of a sudden she looked at me and said, "God, you're full of crap. God, you're good." So, that's how I, tell who I am. It's pretty cool. I have fun with it. Like they say, you got to enjoy what you do. You got to have fun with it. And I have fun. I enjoy what I do. And I just enjoy it. I have a lot of fun in life. That's it. Guys, have a great day. Thanks.
And thank you, Pat. And don't tell me any more lies, because you know exactly what attraction marketing is. You practice it every day on Facebook Lives. Storytelling is brilliant attraction marketing, and you know that anyway.
What's your website, Pat?
What is it? Hold on. PDSS Marketing. I'll put it down in a comment.
Yeah, put in a comment under the replay. Yeah.
And I don't reckon your story even compares to Stephen's about how he got the wall into his room. Just doesn't match, mate. Sorry.
I never heard that story before. I really haven't heard about the wall.
Next time, Stephen. Not now. Next time.
I reckon it's worth doing again, don't you?
All right, Steve. Give it to me in 90 seconds. Go.
Okay, you want to know? Well, we've got a place here in town that contractors put stuff that they take out of houses when they're doing renovations. A lot of it goes to the dump, but stuff that's good that they think can be reused, they put in this place. And I went down there one time. I was actually looking for a couple of pedestal sinks, and I saw this beautiful piece of brick wall with all this graffiti sprayed on it. So I got a big flatbed truck and a crane, and they lifted it, put it on the truck, brought it over to my place. We had to take not only the window. This is an old house, but we took it has tall windows. So we took the window out, but then we took the base of the window, the wall below the window, to get a high enough area so the crane could swing that wall in and set it here. And so I have this setting here now, and it makes a beautiful backdrop for my stuff. And it's kind of become my brand. People know me because of the wall. So it was a lot of work, but it was worth it. Thanks.
Right on. I like it.
Thank you, Stephen. Well done, mate. Anyone else to share before we go quickly? Tom or Yvonne or Donna-lea, Carol? Anyone want to say something?
But can I share something, Peter?
Sure, by all means.
We were talking about different persons have talked about interviewing others. I think Carol did and others. Today, I'm interviewing a woman on a topic that I believe concerns all of us, and that is securing our intellectual property online. It's going to be on my Facebook wall, and we're going to be doing this at noon Eastern Standard Time today, where we'll be talking about, she is a copyright law person, facilitator, workshop facilitator, and so forth. And I've heard her before because we actually were mentored by the same mentor years ago. And she's really good. She's very knowledgeable, but she really emphasizes how important it is to protect what we own, what we put out there online, which we're talking about here to attract our prospects and our clients and customers, and how to protect this. It's on my wall at 12 o'clock. I'll be interviewing her, Barbara Ingracia. So if you are available, I would be happy. I'm going to invite you to join us so you can take away some nuggets on how to protect your intellectual property online. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you, Yvonne. Well done. And just to finish, anything else?
Yeah, I'll just chime in, Pete. I've been a proponent of Clubhouse the last few weeks and mentioned it, and I've actually got I'm actually going on live tomorrow at 11 a.m. Australian time. So I don't know how that converts, but it's probably, what would it be? Probably 10 hours from now, roughly.
Okay.
So I'm doing that in Clubhouse, and it's all about just local marketing and local SEO. So hopefully I'll get some people on there. But that's another attraction marketing tool I think people really need to investigate right now, because it's like Facebook when it began, and I think it's got a lot of legs. So if you're not on Clubhouse, jump on and check it out.
But you have to have an iPhone, right?
Yeah, correct. Or an iPad.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, you've got to have an iPad. It's only for Apple at the moment. They will release, it's in beta right now, but once they go public, it'll be available on Android.
Okay. Stephen, yes?
Yeah, a question for Yvonne. What time zone are you in?
I'm in Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
And it's at 12 noon Eastern on my Facebook profile.
Tom, anything you want to share?
Sorry?
Nope, not.
Okay.
Not at the moment. Thanks, though.
All right. Carol or Lisa, anything else? All righty. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for your contribution as always. I'll give you the topic for next week. I haven't come up with it yet, but I'll come up with something. All right. But I will also be uploading this tomorrow, not today. I'll upload this to YouTube tomorrow. I'll send you the link to this in the message, and also send the link out to my email list in about a week's time. All right. So once again, thank you. I enjoyed the attraction marketing and your thoughts about it, and I hope you got some benefit from it. Okay.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you, everyone. It was wonderful.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.